In the world, there are people whose destiny changed the course of history. People who are not afraid to dream, to take risks, and to overcome all obstacles for their ideas. Today, I will tell you about such a person. This is a story of willpower, passion, and an unstoppable desire to create something great. Let's dive into the story of the man who stands at the origins of the legendary Chevrolet company. Louis Joseph Chevrolet was born on the eve of Christmas in 1878 in the Swiss town of La Chaux-de-Fonds. Chevrolet's father was a watchmaker, and his craftsmanship may have contributed to Louis' fascination with mechanical objects. In 1887, an economic crisis forced the family to leave Switzerland and move to Bonn, a small town in Burgundy, France. However, times remained difficult, and young Louis had no choice but to leave school at the age of 11 and look for work. Soon, he got a job at the local bicycle factory Robin, and bicycle repairs ignited a passion for speed in him. In 1895, Louis Chevrolet joined the City Cyclist Association, where he immediately became successful. For 3 years, he achieved numerous victories and titles, bringing home cash prizes that he managed to win, thus helping his parents. Over time, Louis developed a dream to go and live in America. Soon, the dream came true. In 1901, together with his 3 brothers, Alfred, Arthur, and Gaston, Louis moved to New York, where he found work in the Fiat company. His driving talent became so evident that Fiat invited him to participate in the first major automobile race. The race took place on May 20, 1905, at the Old Morris Park racetrack in New York. The first race, the first victory, but even more astonishing, he not only won his first race, but also set a new incredible record, covering 1 mile in an unbelievable 52.4 seconds. Instantly, the hearts of all present froze in amazement and admiration. The following year, on the golden sands of the Daytona Beach coast in Florida, he continued his march to boundless fame. Louis Chevrolet surpassed himself. He accelerated in his car and reached an unprecedented 190 miles per hour. It was a moment when time stood still, when people held their breath in the face of the insane speed of his triumph. From 1905 to 1910, Louis Chevrolet achieved a series of triumphs and records. He participated in races across the country, from the frozen north of Canada to the hot dust of California. Louis Chevrolet was the one who was not afraid to confront the eternal dangers that lay in his path. Several times, Louis narrowly escaped his fate, miraculously avoiding a catastrophe in which 4 of his mechanics perished. Louis' outstanding sporting career earned him the status of a national hero. At that time, his success caught the attention of William C. Durant, an American businessman and the founder of General Motors Corporation. Louis and William quickly became friends and soon joined forces to develop a luxurious 6-cylinder automobile. As a result, the prestigious and innovative Classic 6 car was created, which bore the name Chevrolet. On November 3, 1911, in Flint, Michigan, USA, the Chevrolet Motor Company was registered, and the production of the Classic 6 began the following year. It was time to conquer the world with their automobiles. Chevrolet developed cars that quickly gained a reputation for their performance, durability, and affordability. Louis wanted to produce high-quality cars for wealthy clients, but Durant understood that the best way to expand production was to focus on producing a large number of cars at low prices. As Henry Ford had proven with his Model T, Louis disagreed and left the company in October 1913 after several disputes with his partner Durant. This allowed Durant to promote the more basic 4-cylinder Hayes series cars, which became the first to bear the Chevrolet emblem in the form of a bow tie. Thus, the Classic 6 was the only car in which Louis Chevrolet was involved in the company's work. He could never have imagined that the company he helped found would become a leader in the automotive industry, capturing the hearts of millions and paving the way for greatness. However, fate took a different turn, and he did not live to see the greatest car adorned with his name. Disappointed, Louis began to contemplate his future plans. He had always dreamed of creating his own racing monsters. In 1914, he decided to bring his dream to life and founded the Frontenac Motor Company. His engineering designs were infused with innovation and bold solutions, and the results exceeded all expectations. In the same year, Louis and his brother Gaston dominated national races for several seasons, defeating primarily European cars. In 1920, the family's fame reached its peak when Gaston won the most prestigious of all trophies, 500 miles of Indianapolis. Unfortunately, the younger Chevrolet's time in the spotlight was short-lived. 6 months later, during the races in Beverly Hills, Gaston died in an accident. This tragedy dealt a decisive blow to Louis, and he decided to retire from racing. Over time, various projects and new developments reignited his passion for creating powerful cars. However, the Great Depression of 1929 engulfed the country, bankrupting Louis and destroying all his ventures. Legends have it that in 1933, Louis, resigned to his failure, agreed to work as a simple mechanic at the Chevrolet plant in Detroit, never realizing his grand plans. On June 6, 1941, Louis Chevrolet passed away. According to his wish, he was buried alongside his brother Gaston at the Holy Cross Cemetery, not far from the famous Indianapolis Speedway. Louis Chevrolet never sought to amass wealth like other legendary automotive dynasties, such as the Ford, Renault, or Citroën families. He valued not money, but what could be created with his own hands and mind. His life was not filled with material riches, but it was filled with thrilling adventures and epic moments that inspired not only himself but also everyone who had the honor of witnessing his genius. To this day, Louis Chevrolet's contribution is so significant and impressive that it cannot be forgotten, and what he left behind can be summed up with the motto he lived by: never give up. These words speak of his unbridled passion, determination, and unwavering resolve to overcome any obstacles, embodying his dreams and ambitions. This motto has become a symbol of his fearless spirit and eternal hope for all of us, propelling us forward even in the most challenging moments.